So yeah, I waited just for a little bit longer, see if I can make you sweat a little bit that you had to go online by yourself.
No, I was fine. I was just like trying to figure out how to change this from baseballs in the background.
That's fair. I didn't really have a chance to change a lot of this stuff. So
I did
welcome.
click over to the Break Even Sports Talk logo and get that on there instead of the there we go.
There we go. So welcome to tonight's episode of Break Even Sports. I am your host, Virgil, the producer, and I am here with Donnie right now. We will probably have Patrick join a little bit later, but right now it's just the two of us. So Donnie, how are you doing? How have you been?
I'm doing well. It's a Monday, coming off a long weekend of food and drinking and fun, and back to the blah today.
No, I understand that. This is my last full week at my current job, so been there for 13 years. So emotions are kind of running a little high at the moment, but
Bet.
that's how things are. But so on this show, we talk about basically it's a supplemental show to DHC show. So a lot of the sports that we don't really talk about much, we'll talk about on this one. Of course, we got a lot of soccer to talk about because I'm pretty sure looking at the results, you probably had 2-3 panic attacks, maybe.
A few. I tried to keep up with it as best I could with being out and about with our friends over the weekend. I did watch a little bit on my phone where I could. So and you had me going on the Wrexham stuff. Once I saw some of your comments, I flipped over, started watching both of those games to see if Wrexham was going to make the playoff or not. And unfortunately, they did not. But we'll get into that as well.
But did you feel the tension on that? Like, were you like glued to your seat? How excited that was? That's what I like about the final days. So yeah, we had the final days of the championships, and I also watched the final days of League One and League Two. But I'm waiting for Patrick to show up to talk about those two because there was a certain player that I saw at one of the games that made me actually watch the entire match day for that because I was like, I did not know he was there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a player you're not going to know, but it's definitely going to a player that Patrick will know for sure. When we talk about, so besides soccer, let's say we got Champions League, we got all the European competitions, we got Premier League to go over. I actually want to talk about some college baseball too, because I don't know if you saw this, the SEC is trying out ABS in the conference tournament.
I did. And real quickly, shout out Happy Star Wars Day to Phil and what's up, Holsinger. Still have my Darth Vader shirt on, but I switched to my NHL hat tonight, watching some hockey as well as we talk soccer. But yeah, that came over in the chat, and I mean, I think it's it. I was wondering if it was going to trickle down to the college game at some point. So, and leave it to the SEC to try to be the front runners in everything college sports if they can.
I'm curious if it's on a conference basis because I know some conferences would probably be harder to implement in my opinion based off facilities on that stuff. But I'll be curious how it goes for that. I think it'll probably work well.
At first I thought, well, I mean, they do play at the Hoover, but they don't play regular minor league games at Hoover, so I don't know why it would be outfitted necessarily. I could see like the ACC tournament doing it if they were playing at the Knight Stadium, which is a AAA stadium and is probably already, well, not probably, is already outfitted for it because they've tried it at AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute, Hoover's not really a stadium that should be already outfitted for it. So that was kind of strange that they would choose to do it, even though it is technically or has been a minor league stadium for many years in the past.
I mean, yeah, it's still a viable stadium that, if they implement it, maybe it could probably draw some sort of other games there that could probably benefit from it. But,
yeah,
Birmingham actually has two conference tournaments going on at the same time.
They have what's the other one they've got going on? It's the
SWAC conference tournament that should be played. That'd be playing at Rickwood.
Well, yeah, but that's coming up. That's still a few weeks away.
Right, but I mean, like that's going to be.
But it'll be about the same time.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's definitely. I'm debating since I'll be starting a remote job if I want to go down there and do some work over there. I don't know what Rickwood's Wi-Fi is like, if any. So. May have to take a look at that. But no, but we're going to talk more about that because I also have to talk about my experience at North Alabama at their college, at their ballpark, because it was kind of a weird ballpark for a new one, and I'll explain why getting that. I almost couldn't find the concessions.
Well, and just in the spirit of this show being about all other sports that are not necessarily the major sports, I'm going to do what a golfer does, and I'm going to call a penalty stroke on myself today.
Oh.
This morning on Breakfast Takes, both Ed and I were talking about, we're doing the Brockmire episodes and covering that. And he asked me about, other South Carolina sports. Well, I missed the most obvious tie-in to those two things that was going on this weekend in my own, not necessarily my own backyard, but Benedict College in the SIAC tournament upset, had an upset yesterday, and then they lost to Morehouse in the second game to get eliminated from the losers bracket in the SIAC tournament, which, by the way, is being played at Luther Williams Field, which is the field that they used to shoot Brockmire.
I will personally blame myself for this because I was not there to correct you.
I know. And we even said after the show, I brought it up after we got off the air to Ed and said, damn, I just totally missed this. I texted Ed directly because I didn't catch it before the show. And he said, and I quote as I pull it up here, "Oh, damn, Virgil's going to kick our ass." And I waited all day, and I waited a few minutes into this show to see if you were going to call me on it from the outset, and you did not. So I called the penalty on myself, as a golfer should do.
I'm going to be honest with you. I actually did not get a notification that you guys did the Breakfast Takes today.
Because he's trying the other platform.
Right.
But it did go out on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. So, YouTube, TikTok, and either Facebook or Twitter. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until I was about to leave for work that it happened. I'm like, I'm going to listen to it when I get in, and then I didn't listen to it when I got in. So I do apologize, but
that's okay.
I would have pointed that out because I don't know if you know this. I have an AI system that I run listening to your shows to make sure it brings up Benedict College, and when it doesn't, I make sure to ding you on that. So I apologize for missing that week.
Well, the fact that their tournament is going on earlier than others, I guess, threw me because I didn't realize they had already started the tournament.
Yeah, I think usually the D2 tournaments start, right? The lower division tournaments kind of start a little bit earlier. Have you been to Luther Williams by any chance?
I have not. In fact, I didn't even realize, for whatever reason, the first time I watched Brockmire, I didn't put two and two together at the time. So I didn't even realize until I was actually looking up something about where I looked to where they say they filmed it. I pulled up the IMDb. I'm like, what field did they use? And I'm like, holy crap. Totally missed that one. So yes, that is now added to my bucket list of places to go visit. And I mean, shame on me. I should have gone down there to see a Macon Bacon game by now anyway. But yeah, I got to go check that field out.
So Macon Bacon is one of 4 teams that I've had a rain out on a trip in and never got to see. But that stadium did not leave a good first impression for me because it was raining so hard that it was basically flooding the stadium.
Oh, wow.
So there's that. And also and also it's late game CPL. So like whatever merch is there. So it wasn't really a lot to go through. So I never even got a hat from them. So I need to redo Macon at some point.
Yeah, the only hat I've actually got from Macon is their egg hat, their fried egg. And I got it because it was so unique that it was just a fried egg on a hat.
But see, like I see that hat, and I don't think Macon with that. Like they don't really. But I mean, I kind of understand. It's like I had a piece of bacon, or I can bacon M with it to show, hey, this is a Macon Bacon hat. That can make a difference.
But yeah, I my plan was to get a more proper hat from them on a visit there, and I just haven't made it down there yet. So I take the egg hat as one of those conversation starters where it's like, who's that? And then I can get into it. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure if our Florida trip was like a month later, I probably would have considered stopping at Macon again.
Yeah.
On my way down, but that's just not in the cards.
Yep.
But we'll be going to Columbus, so looking forward to seeing the Clingstones.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's talk. We're going to start. We're not going to start Premier League. We're going to go canonically here. We are going to start with the Champions League game on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm going to paint a picture for everybody. My view of this, because I was at work and I kind of forgot this was going on. I'm sitting back, I'm working on a budget for a meeting, and I take a look at my phone and I have a text from Donnie that says fucking hell. And usually what that means, that is like a bat signal to me that Bayern Munich is in trouble and I have to pay attention.
Yes, it was.
At the time of him sending that, Bayern Munich was down, I think, 4-2 to PSG.
Yep.
And I was telling Donnie, listen, Bayern's going to be okay with a two-goal deficit coming in the second leg. Now, if PSG scores a third goal, we're going to have a problem. When I said that, PSG scored a third goal.
Yes,
and I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. The whole thing's about to unravel. But then 2 goals, including a late one, well, not a late one, but the 68th minute by Luis Diaz, makes it 5-4 in the first leg for PSG winning. Really, I'm not surprised the way this game went because, I mean, the PSG had to basically come guns blazing in this game. Yeah. And they did, but Bayern somehow comes back in this. Now, did you watch this game, I believe?
I did. I had this on TV. I was over at Rhonda's office working and threw it up on the big screen TV there.
So I'm going to ask you 2 questions about your views on this game. First, as the Bayern fan, how did you feel about this?
Oh man, I just like PSG was just on fire right now, that day. They had more of a determination. I think Bayern maybe was playing that, customarily it'll circle back around to us. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they had some good shots. They weren't playing bad. They weren't. They didn't even seem like they were lollygagging or anything. It's just like they couldn't really just get anything to go. In fact, I think, I don't know. I'd have to look back at the stats. I thought at one point they might have even had more of an offensive shots on goal and everything. But PSG was just very methodical with what they were doing and took advantage of a couple of situations. And one of those goals, though, was just like, oh my God, how did that go in? Like, it was just like, it was just glanced off of the post there or something. And it was just one of those that kind of squeaked in that shouldn't have got in. But
like time kind of froze there.
Yeah.
So PSG actually had more shots in total at 12, but Bayern had more shots on target.
Oh, maybe that's okay. Because I'd seen something that was going on with the stats. And I can't remember what they were, but it wasn't a bad game. It was a good game. It's just PSG they were getting the shots in, and Bayern was missing a few things, and they weren't really getting aggressive enough once they got down. I think they just kind of was like, okay, it'll come back to us, and it just didn't really do that. So,
yeah, and like I said, Patrick said last week that he thought this was pretty much going to be the final, and I kind of subscribed to that. So,
it was an exciting game the whole way. It was exciting.
And I said, as a Bayern Munich fan, it was probably nerve-wracking.
Right. I mean, I kept hoping that it was going to be one of those things like you guys were talking about, that they'll just come back later in the game. And I guess I thought it would be a 5-4 Bayern. They'll pull it out and win 5-4. Well, they didn't. They lost 5-4, but it's first leg. So, they could still win the aggregate. They just got to outscore them in the next week. So,
which that will be played on Wednesday. But I mean,
that's a home game too, so they may have a better advantage.
That's at Alliance, so I'll be curious if PSG still has steam in there. I I think Bayern's going to be ready for that one. But as a soccer fan, how did you feel about watching that game? Because that was a fun game to watch once I got back and watched the highlights of it.
It was a very fun game to watch. I really was into it, and yeah, despite the scoring, even when PSG was scoring, I was like, those were some good plays they were making. Except for that one, just fluke goal, everything was pretty damn good shots and pretty good setups of shots.
Yeah, when you have high quality players in games like this where they're not playing defensive, they're going for it. It's one of the best things to watch.
Absolutely.
And then the second game,
I didn't get to watch a lot of that game. I tried to keep up with it, but yeah, I could tell that was a snooze fest.
There wasn't a lot to say, and that's the thing. It's a duality of soccer. You have a fantastic game of PSG and Bayern 5-4, and then you have an absolute. I'm not going to call it anti-football, but just a war crime of a game of Atletico Madrid and Arsenal scoring 1-1, both goals being off of penalties. I don't even know how to put this game. I mean, there were a lot of shots. Atletico had 18, Arsenal had 11, but shots on target, Arsenal 2, Atletico 4. Not a lot of chances in this game.
No.
So it kind of drug a little bit, but we'll see how second leg goes over at Arsenal on Tuesday. That'll be tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But I really don't know what to make of this because Arsenal is, of course, trying to fend off Manchester City for a Premier League title. Atletico, I think, is pretty much. Let's see where they're at the table. They're fourth in the table. They're about 10 points away from Real Betis for the fourth Champions League spot. There's probably not going to be a lot of movement from them, so they're probably more focused on this. But Donnie, how do you feel about Atletico's chances against Arsenal tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I want to say I think they'll pull it out okay, but they really didn't play from what I did see. Didn't play an inspired game, and I don't know if it was just kind of. I mean, like y'all said, it's going to be kind of like a humdrum kind of game, not a lot of excitement. I expect they should win, considering the totality of what they've done this year. But I can't confidently believe that either. So I don't know. This is a toss up. I mean, it's really a coin flip for me on this one.
Yeah, I expect this game to open up a lot more compared to the first leg. I don't know who that really favors more because I know Arsenal tends to be a more defensive kind of team, but right. I can kind of see Atletico sneaking one out here. But honestly, don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like I said, I expect that the way they've played overall, it has been they've been a better, I guess, a team in their totality again all year long. But I think they're playing at Arsenal the second leg, aren't they?
Yeah, that one is being played at the Emirates.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. They got to go on the road, try to do something. So I mean, the only advantage, I guess, is that for either one of them is that it's they're equal. So going into this game, so it's not like you got to make up extra points or anything.
Right.
The aggregate.
Mr. Patrick, it is good to see you.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
But I will say, with today's results that we're going to be going over, that is a unfortunate outfit you're wearing. So
listen, I've got so many of these that I have to wear them even when we are horrible. Doesn't really matter what competition you're talking about. We're just horrible. No excuses. None. Should have lost 3-0 today, but we'll go over that, I'm sure, in the coming hour. I don't make any excuses for my team.
Well, first off, don't be hard on yourself. You lost 3-1.
That's what I mean. It should have been 3-0. I think we scored in injury time.
I believe so too. But
Pedro scored, and I think Joao Pedro scored in the 95th minute. I think.
Right. There is another team that scored only in injury time that I have more of a beef with that we're going to talk about later because that was a shameful performance, and you probably know who I'm talking about. But but we just finished talking about the Champions League games. We got Donnie's impression with the PSG Bayern game.
Yep.
So now we're about to move on to Europa League.
Ooh.
But before I do that, Patrick, I teased this a little bit because I thought you were going to be on a little bit later. We're going to go over Premier League, of course, and Championship. I ended up watching League One and League Two final day.
Ooh.
And I initially was not going to, but there was a certain player that I saw that came across that made me stop everything and watch the rest of League One and League Two on the Golasso on Paramount.
Ooh.
So, and it's a former Premier League player, so I can definitely tell you that.
David McGoldrick?
It's not David McGoldrick. That's a good guess, though, but no. But you'll see who it is when we get there.
Okay.
So Europa League, we had the All English semifinal with Nottingham Forest getting a 1-0 victory over Aston Villa off of a Chris Wood penalty. Then we had that was the Chris Wood penalty game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Got to make sure I didn't have my games mixed up. And then Braga from Portugal beats Freiburg 2-1. So Freiburg does get that away goal, though. So Braga's already beaten Real Betis in Spain coming off of aggregate before going down. So they are a good tested road team already. So I'm kind of more interested in that one, honestly, than the Aston Villa Nottingham Forest one. Aston Villa will probably come prepared because they didn't show up for their game Sunday. So I'll be curious. So I think we got some really good matchups there coming from that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's good to see. I mean, I still like seeing English clubs making it to the latter stages of the competitions. Yeah. But yeah, what's up, Mark?
Yeah, Mark, how you doing?
Yeah.
I definitely like to see English clubs at this stage. I like to see English clubs also that you usually do not see at this stage.
Sure.
So,
well, like it's good to see like a Braga and a Freiburg making it to this stage of the competition, because like you said, you don't, with all due respect to those to Braga and to Freiburg, you usually see more well-known clubs even in the Europa League making it to this stage. Not to say that those are, I'm not trying to insult like the size of those clubs or anything, but there are still, even in the second tier competition, still a lot of big names that still find their way there, and that's usually who you end up seeing in the latter stages. So
I mean, like teams that got knocked out in the round of 16 that you would probably usually see: Roma, Leon, Stuttgart, Porto got knocked out in the semi. So I mean, like there's big clubs that you would usually see in the semi-final stage that they got beat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think but to see Forest doing well, even though we all know they should be in the Conference League, to see them doing well, and Villa. I mean, Unai Emery is like a Europa League specialist. So I wouldn't count out Villa, because I mean the know-how of how many times has Unai Emery won the Europa League or the UEFA Cup? Like 4 times.
I believe 4. I had that up early, so let me double check.
Well, 3 times with Sevilla and once with Villarreal.
Yes.
So he knows his competition.
No, I think there's a 5th then, because I thought he had one with.
Did he do one with another club?
I thought he did one with Arsenal.
Imagine you thinking Arsenal is going to win European trophies.
You know what? You're right. All right. How dumb of me to say that.
Well, listen, I don't get to brag on them much, but they did make a Europa League final, but they lost to a certain team called to a certain type of play called Sarri ball.
So I was wrong. They were in the finals with Arsenal, so he did not win that one.
Yeah, he lost to Chelsea.
See how you set me up. I knew you knew that. I was wondering why you were so okay.
He was kind of leading you to the slaughter there.
I led you to the answer because I said they lost to a thing called Sorry Ball, Maurizio Sarri.
That should have given it away. I wasn't paying attention.
Who was the Chelsea manager at that time?
I got Larson. I knew it.
You got Larson.
Got Larson.
You got Larson. You got Larson. No.
Well, you said that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So you said that Nottingham should have been in the Conference League. Let's talk about the Conference League too, because I actually did see some of these games, and I thought first of all, Palace's performance against Donetsk I thought was really, really amazing. That really solidifies me thinking that I think this is Palace's tournament to lose.
They played very well in that game. I saw a good bit, or I saw some of that. I didn't say good bit. I saw a good early portion of that.
My cousin was outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I was glad to see them pull out that 3-1 on that one.
Cousin Morgan Strand Larson.
Yep.
So Crystal Palace goes to Poland to play Shakhtar Donetsk, beats them 3-1, and then the other match, Rayo Vallecano beats Strasbourg 1-0. Like I said, both these games, I'm not going to say the Palace Shakhtar one is done. Palace still has to do their job at Selhurst. I think they will. Strasbourg, Rayo Vallecano, that's a toss-up. I feel like those two are kind of evenly matched teams.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, Palace plays on Thursday. So at Selhurst. And of course, we did see that one's a complete sellout. So good that people are showing up for that. Donnie Glade, that you bought all the tickets that were available.
Well, I got to do my part.
Absolutely.
Well, I couldn't help but notice that you guys were talking about the making bacon earlier. I did hear that part, and I said, I don't know if you saw my comment, but I said, man, Donnie's been making bacon for years.
Did your comment not show up?
It did. I didn't see that show up on here.
Man, I was really proud of that one too, because I said, man, Donnie's been making bacon for years. How do you think he got to be a trillionaire?
Gosh, I hope that comments aren't showing up again. That's going to be a problem.
Did you comment on Instagram?
On YouTube.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's not there.
Show up here.
Well, you know what? They must have told me they needed to have good jokes, on there to kind of show up on the comments. So,
or if you look back, maybe you didn't actually hit send.
I did.
Still sitting there.
I did.
Okay.
I sat there and I looked at it and I'm like, dang, that was a good one.
See, that's weird. The anti-Patrick filter doesn't hit until Tuesday, so I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
Well, but you know what we do on the show? We break even, right? So.
Yeah, and I didn't delete it either. So.
Well, I mean, I was talking with another colleague of mine tonight about how rich you are. So, it was great.
Oh, stop!
What? they actually knew who you were, and I was like, "Yep." I said, well, people with money, you know how that is. Yeah.
So let's talk about Premier League over this past week.
Let's chat. Donnie's ready.
There's been some interesting matches. Of course, a few teams did not show up, and one of them happens to be mine, which shouldn't surprise me because Fulham is Fulham. But let's go through these scores. Let's go through these scores real quick. Like it's, I get so mad because it's like they beat Villa, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to go for European aspirations. They're going to go for it. Do I expect them to beat Arsenal? No. Do I expect them to at least have a effing game with Arsenal? Maybe. And it's like, no, we're just gonna sit this out.
I can completely relate. Like, we actually show up for an FA Cup semifinal when I was sure we were going to lose against Leeds, and we actually show up and play halfway decent. Given the standard at this moment is awful, but we got a result.
Right.
And then you put in a performance like they did today against. Sorry, you don't even show up today like they didn't against Forest. I mean, it's frustrating because you wonder, do the players care? But anyways, I'm going to shut up and let you get back to the scores.
Okay. So the scores on Friday, we had Leeds beating Burnley 3-1. Leeds was kind of a little bit in danger with relegation. I think I'm not going to say they're safe, but they're comfortable. Saturday, we had Brentford beat West Ham 3-0. Asking West Ham to beat Brentford was a tall order. I'd at least maybe lucky if they got a point out of that, but for 3-0 is kind of a fair result.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, the disappointing part is that they didn't even show up. I mean, they were outclassed by Brentford. I mean, Brentford's a good side. Give them all the credit in the world, but always seem to have West Ham's number. I don't know what it is about. That's one of those teams that just seems to do well, dominate one over the other. But man, that was an outclassing.
Bees, man, they just cause problems.
They do.
Wolverhampton and Sunderland tie 1-1 after a Sunderland red card, so at least they have a point in Molyneux. I'm still under the belief that Wolves will not finish bottom at the table this year, so got a few more games left to see if that's true or not.
Yep.
Newcastle beats Brighton 3-1. Arsenal just needs the first half to destroy Fulham 3-0. Everything just fell apart as quickly as it can. I just don't want to talk about that. We're going to move on. Bournemouth beat Palace 3-0. I am pretty sure Palace played a second side in this game. I think they rested starters for the Conference League.
For sure.
I think I'm not. That result doesn't really surprise me. I don't say.
It makes sense at this point.
Well, like I said last week, I mean, as far as the league goes, they're in no man's land league wise. So where they're at in the table doesn't matter. They're just focusing on the cup.
Manchester United beat Liverpool 3-2. I thought Liverpool was actually the better side here, but Manchester just kind of got lucky again.
They always do. I mean, they're still better than my team right now. I'll be the first to say that, but I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that, though. I thought Liverpool was the better side.
And then Tottenham go to Villa Park and beat Aston Villa 2-1. Really should have been 2-0, but Aston Villa does get a literally a garbage time goal in the last minute of stoppage time. This is one of the games that you kind of question if Arsenal was going to play. If Aston Villa was going to play a full side or not. They did not play a full side, so that obviously did affect it. But even then, just poor performance, just absolutely poor.
Yeah, and it allowed Tottenham and West Ham to kind of flip flop in the relegation line there.
Yeah. Tottenham had 10 shots. Tottenham had 10 shots to Aston Villa's 5, and Aston Villa had 1 shot on target.
Yeah, well, it was not a good evening. It certainly was not.
No. No, and like I said, we will after we go through the games. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I really think I've been saying this for a few weeks, even when they were in the drop zone. I think Tottenham's going to beat the drop. I really do. That was a huge result for them.
If West Ham keeps playing like they do, like West Ham is completely fallen off the cliff at this point. I would say I thought they were going to survive the drop, and now I do not think they're going to.
Well, West Ham is Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Like that performance against Everton, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like they were resilient. I mean, and they've had a few good. I mean, before this game, they've had a few good results. I mean, they looked pretty. They had a good run of form leading up to this weekend. It's just that, they just had nothing left to show up against Brentford. I mean, they just didn't show up. That did not look like a team that I saw in the previous weeks that had fight.
No, absolutely not.
Something that De Zerbi has brought to this Tottenham side, like him or not, like Tottenham or not, he's reinstilled the fight in them. Like all they needed was a result to get some belief back, and then the fights come back. So
yeah, I'll be curious how Tottenham bounces back because I know they've got there's still that talk about their home record, which is not,
awful. It's awful.
It's awful. They do have Leeds next though, so maybe they'll finally break it. We'll see.
Well, both them and West Ham have to play Leeds in their last 3 games.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Tottenham's got who was it they've got? They've got Chelsea and Everton, I think, left.
Well, who wouldn't want to play Chelsea right now?
So yeah, I mean, normally I would say, well, that that's not going to be good, but Chelsea's not. They're not doing anybody any favors right now. So
well, let's go ahead and hop in this game because If you told me that
They're not doing themselves any favors, I should say. So.
if you would have told me that Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea 3-1 and that Gibbs White wasn't even, I think he was even in the game at all, I would call you crazy. I thought maybe Nottingham was going to be resting players for Europa League, and they were resting players for Europa League. And Chelsea was like, let's give them 3 points. They deserve it.
I mean, and I mean this sincerely. I was not surprised by this result in the slightest.
See, I thought Nottingham was at least. I mean, Nottingham's still fighting for their, fighting for survival and staying up.
Yeah,
I was not. I was expecting maybe a point from them, maybe a close game. They could probably steal. Like a 2-1. Like a 90th minute goal.
Yeah,
I was not expecting a 3-1 thrashing like this.
Well, what I've learned about Chelsea is when they capitulate, I mean, they capitulate. They don't do anything halfway. If they're gonna be bad, they're gonna be really bad.
Well, they've lost 6 straight, so that's really bad.
Yeah, well, the defense has been a problem for several seasons now, and they don't address it. They think the answer is to buy another young, unproven, 19-year-old for big money, just so they can flip them later when they don't work when they don't make it at Chelsea because they don't get the requisite opportunities. I mean, listen, the sample size, you can say, early on, you're like, okay, well, the sample size isn't big enough. The sample size is big enough at this point. But and Mark, I don't know if you're talking about Chelsea with that, but I will say that when Chelsea's on form, they're excellent. The problem is that you don't see enough of that. They're not a consistent team. Chelsea will go through a rich vein of form, but then they will just take a nosedive. Yeah, that comes with being a young team. It's a very temperamental side. They're an ill-disciplined side. They need some veteran. They need some veteran know-how in that team. They need some experience because what they have, even you can say, well, when they're young, they're going to be getting experience. The Premier League doesn't wait for anybody, right? I mean, it's an unforgiving league. So if you're a big club spending the kind of money that Chelsea's been paying for players, there's only so much rebuilding you can do.
Right.
You're expected to finish in the top, and at this point, in the top 5, and you're not even doing that. I mean, you might not even be in Europe by the time everything's said and done. And that's not going to be good for the books.
Yeah.
And then, as it puts Nottingham 6 points above the drop zone. So with 3 games left, we'll see what happens there. But I said they're feeling a lot more comfortable, but they're not completely safe. Now, I don't know if you guys heard anything today, but you may have heard a big sigh of relief. And that's from Arsenal because Manchester City really should have lost this game. But, they have their cheat code called Doku and tie Everton 3-3. So what everyone
they were winning. They were winning that game, weren't they? Weren't City winning that game?
City was up 1-0 up until Barry's goal in the 68th minute. So I mean, they were kind of cruising comfortably.
Yeah, who scored?
Barry.
Oh, okay. First, I thought you said Gareth Barry, and I was like, wait, there was a Gareth Barry regen?
No, not. I don't know how to say his first name.
Tierney.
Yeah, he's got a brace, and then O'Brien got the goal in the 33rd minute.
Okay. Yeah.
But a big waste. I'm not gonna say a waste opportunity, but a big miss for Manchester City in the title race. That's and they still have a game in hand, and that could be fine. But the fact that they were considering after the Arsenal game against Man City versus Arsenal, there were people, not us here, but there were people that were already kind of crowning Man City that they thought this was going to be the turn. You can't be doing something like this.
Well, I have a friend that's an Arsenal supporter that goes to Atlanta United games with me. And I was telling him the other day, I said, you always want to be the team that has the points in the bank. It's all well and good if you have a game or two in hand, but you still have to go and play those games. I mean, I think Man City has like 3 games in 7 days,
right,
in the league, and you still have to win. You still have to win to get those, to get those points. So I'd rather have the points in the bank already, rather than, like, to me, the pressure is on the team that's behind you, not, not after it. So.
Well, and it's fitting for Man City that they had a guy named Doku score twice today on Star Wars Day.
Oh, maybe the May the 4th was with him then, huh?
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I didn't think of that.
Yep.
I can count on that. So with the table going on, Arsenal is now 5 points ahead of Man City. Man City still does have a game in hand, but losing those 2 points means that they can't tie now with the game in hand. Once they play that game, unless Arsenal drop points, Arsenal's probably going to be ahead at the end of that. When it comes to Champions League spots, Aston Villa 6 points above Bournemouth. They're tied with Liverpool, also at 58, but Liverpool, of course, has the goal differential. Brentford still has an outside chance for Champions League. Little kind of a distant chance, but a chance nonetheless. When we go to the bottom, Tottenham is officially in 17th, 1 point ahead of West Ham at 36. Tottenham is 37. West Ham is 36. My joke about Cleveland Browns having more quarterbacks than what Tottenham has points is still valid. So
true.
We got a few more games left. So I think that's what we're all going to be focused on. Nottingham's at 42, Palace at 43. Not completely safe yet, I would say. Palace still does also have a game in hand.
Yeah, they have that extra one against Man City they got to make up somewhere.
Yeah. So that's
by the way, don't forget Tottenham may not have as many points as the Browns have had quarterbacks, but they do have Peppa Pig.
Is there such thing as reading the room? Like, I mean,
yeah, we're in a relegation fight, but let's drop an exclusive Peppa Pig drop.
Right.
A limited edition collection.
So Mark does not get the Cleveland Brown joke. If you want to, Patrick, if you want to tell that one, since you're the historian on this.
Oh man, well, I'm gonna need your help with the numbers. So, Mark, the Cleveland Browns since 1999, I think have had 41 quarterbacks, right?
42.
Is it 41 or 42?
42 they've had 40 different starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, they've had 40. The Cleveland Browns as an organization have had 42 different starting quarterbacks since 1999, and Tottenham don't have 42 points. So we were saying that Virgil's joke was that the Cleveland Browns have started more quarterbacks since 1999 than Tottenham has points this season. So, yeah, please know. Yeah. Yeah, I know that was excruciating hearing me explain that, but I did my best.
All right, so we're done with that. When I come looking at form, Chelsea, like I said, we talked about Chelsea losing 5 straight. Burnley has lost 5 straight, so that's why I'm still thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can.
We're being compared with Burnley now. Outstanding.
Hey, compared to Burnley, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, we're just awful.
Just not in this context. But the team in the best form right now, after their considering their last 5, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
but let's talk about the thing I really want to discuss, because as you guys knew in the chat text, I was doing commentary for a lot of this. Let's talk about the championship. So, of course, we'll talk about the biggest story in the championship going on, and that is Sheffield Wednesday breaking their streak to win a game. I am so happy for Sheffield Wednesday. They finished. No longer there are not negative points. They finished at 0, which is kind of fitting and just for them.
Well, did you happen to see the video of the countdown with the
point deduction?
A point deduction? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was brilliant. So when we go to the championship, here's what the picture we had before the league started. So before the game started, we had 3 teams vying for the second automatic promotion spot with Ipswich, Millwall, and Middlesbrough at the time. So Middlesbrough would have had to have Ipswich and Millwall draw or lose to basically surpass them with a win. And then on the sixth spot, we had Hull, Wrexham, and Derby County fighting for that. Derby needed a little help. They needed to make sure that either Hull or Wrexham did not win, and they were leading to have that spot. And at one point, at halftime, after the first 45 minutes, Derby County had that spot with a 1-0, I almost said victory. That's not the right word.
Advantage.
1-0 advantage against Sheffield United. And honestly, watching that game, I thought they were going to hold on to it. It was going to be interesting. And then Sheffield decided to completely cut them up because Sheffield scores 2 quick goals in the second, and that's the end of Derby County. When it comes to the second spot, Ipswich pretty much had it in control. They were playing QPR. They were not going to lose that game. So they won comfortably 3-0. So really it came down to Hull City, Norwich City, and Wrexham and Middlesbrough. And like I said, I was following this at the most part. I was really thinking that Wrexham was going to pull it out because I thought after Norwich's first goal that they were really going to struggle to try to get it back. They did get the draw. They did get it 1-1 2 minutes later, but I did not know where Hull's goal was going to come from. And then it came from a penalty, of course. Yep. So they got a penalty in the 67th minute, got that goal, and held on tight. Norwich had at least 2 really good chances at the end that I thought one of them almost went in.
Yeah, they did about have that one go in. It was so close.
I'm so gutted for Wrexham.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most points they've had in the championship. I honestly, I'll be curious what they have, who they keep and who they bring on, but I wouldn't be surprised if you hear people saying that they're going to be a favorite for a possible chance for promotion next year.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And it may be a good thing for them to kind of have that extra year.
I think it is good for them.
Yeah, just this constant climb.
Yeah, they're not ready for the
aside from the fairy tale.
Yeah, they're not ready for the Premier League. I can tell you that.
No,
yeah.
They'd be instant relegation favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't. I mean, I know every year we always say the teams that are promoted are the relegation favorites, and in recent years that has not been the case with a lot of them. I mean, look at Leeds, look at Sunderland, look at some other teams. But I think it's good for Wrexham to have that dose of humility. I mean, I'm not saying it's just because of arrogance, but I think it's just good to, like, they've had I remember they were better for the Grimsby playoff loss in the National League playoff. I think they were a better team for it.
Yeah.
Because they knew what it was like to be on the other side. So then they came back and were utterly dominant, the next season. I know it was, goal for goal with Notts County that year, but still, they learned a lot from that experience, I think. So maybe they'll learn a lot from this too, that, now it's up to them to see what they do with it.
Yeah. Appreciate the compliment, Mark, on my chill room as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Mark, it is awesome. Yeah. And it's emblazoned in gold. You can't really see it through the camera, but
I wish I could show everything else around the other walls, but
Mark, very expensive.
It's little gold accents you can't see that make a difference.
Exactly. And there's diamonds around there too. Like, he's got like the Hope Diamond in there somewhere. Just
laying around.
It's just laying around, trillionaire stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that. But when you got a compound, it's awesome. Good for you. You've earned it. You've earned it.
To me, the biggest loser on the final day of championship this week was Middlesbrough, because they got, not only did they have a shot for second and didn't get it, they are now 5th, which means they don't even get the advantage in the two-leg playoff. They have to play at home first instead of second.
Yeah.
And
So, go ahead.
well, no, I was just going to say, can I just thank Ipswich Town one more time for not allowing Millwall to get automatic promotion?
I think a lot of people were happy for that, but Millwall still has a chance because
yeah. I apologize for interrupting you for the umpteenth time, Mr. Producer, so I'll let you get back to it, but I just needed to put on record my thanks to Ipswich Town for not allowing Millwall to get an automatic promotion. So I apologize. Back to you.
I understand. So now we have our semifinals. So we have Hull versus Millwall and Middlesbrough versus Southampton.
Mhm.
So we will start on those will start Friday. Hull will start off on Friday, and Middlesbrough will start on Saturday. So and then after that, they will do a Monday, Tuesday game again, going to the other place, other home. So the 2 higher seeds in this case will be playing home in their second game. Donnie, I don't know. Donnie, you may not have an answer for this because you don't really follow as much as me and Patrick do, but who do you see coming out of this, Patrick?
I'd love to know what Donnie's thoughts are on it too. But I think the form team at the moment is Southampton. I mean, I like to ride the hot hand. I mean, Hull fell into this spot. I mean, literally with the PK that they got, they literally fell into this spot. I think Millwall is going to absolutely thrash them. I hate to say that because I actually like Hull City, or Hull. Because it's not Hull. Is it not Hull City anymore? Is it just Hull?
Just
I
Hull
always
City.
like Hull City.
Yeah. Well, either way, isn't it Hull City Tigers technically? With that adventurous owner that they have.
I think they tried the Tigers at some point, and then people were like, "No, this is stupid."
Then they're like, "This isn't Detroit." Yeah, but I think it's tough for Middlesbrough now to be in that 5th seed because so the way Southampton's playing and you give them the home leg, I think Southampton's the form team of all the promotion playoff teams at this point. So that's who I would go with. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think.
I mean, you're right. I don't have a lot of input on this. I mean, I know as we followed it all year long, Millwall has been kind of the team to beat of that group. So I could certainly see them kind of running it and getting that 3rd spot the way they've been playing. I don't know much about the others, so I'll defer to what Patrick said there about Southampton maybe being the next best of that group.
Well, who knew that sacking Will Still was going to be the thing that turned around Southampton's season?
Apparently that's all they needed.
It worked, which is weird because Will Still was a pretty good manager. I mean, he made a name for himself in France. It just didn't work out at Southampton for him.
Well, like that, I guess that statement is not true anymore. When you don't have a will, you still have a way.
Oh,
well played.
Thank you. I'm going to make a case here for Hull City.
Okay.
Because Hull City has something that no other team has in this playoff.
Okay.
They are the only team out of these 4 who have been in the playoffs and have won them twice to be promoted. So they are technically undefeated in these promotion playoffs when it comes down to it. And these are from 2 different teams. And like I said, it's not the same team from 2016. It's not the same team. It's not Dean Windass from 2008. But
Phil Brown, baby.
Yeah. But you have history there. You have a history of showing up for these championship games, for these playoff games, regardless of how your team is. I would not be surprised if we see Hull at Wembley.
Well, an X factor in this, and he was an X factor in the game that got them to this point. You've got a championship striker that knows how to score goals in Ollie McBurney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Virgil. Ollie McBurney was at Sheffield United.
Was he United? Let me double check his record. I think
it was West Brom, and I think it was like Sheffield United, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember West. See, now I'm questioning myself on West Brom.
Anyways, Donnie, for context, there's a player that like one of Hull City's strikers has been been with those what we call yo-yo clubs between the Premier League and the Championship. And he he's not going to be like a starter at like a top 6 English club probably, but he's always going to be a guy that gets a job because
Sheffield
United.
Yeah, but he didn't come from Sheffield United, from Hull City. Do you know where he played between Sheffield United and Hull City?
So it's not West Brom.
No, West Brom is not even on his list. Swansea City is, though.
Oh, is that where he was with Swansea?
No. He was at Las Palmas.
Ollie McBurney was at Las Palmas?
Yes, Ollie McBurney was at Las Palmas. That is what this is saying.
Is it just me? Does something seem out of place?
Maybe he was on vacation. I don't know. He was on holiday.
Man, you know what?
Took a sabbatical.
I guess he's going to get transferred to Como next, isn't he? God,
I mean, we'll see at this point. But no, I
Fabregas managing Ollie McBurney. I would love to see that.
But no, I know Hull City. I'm not going to say snuck in. That's not the right word. They had a dip in form, and they found a way to come back and win this game. And I get that.
Yeah.
I until they lose a playoff game, I'm have faith in Hull City being at Wembley. I still think this is Southampton's tournament to win. I'd have no faith in Middlesbrough. They've kind of gone on a downhill, and West Ham. I mean, not West Ham. I think Southampton's going to bounce back. Going to beat them fine, maybe. But yeah, I think it's going to be Southampton Millwall. I mean, I'm sorry, Southampton Hull City going into Wembley. But we'll see on that. So that's it for championship. So let's talk about. And we're not gonna go over all these games here because we've not really talked much about League One, League Two. But Patrick.
Yes, sir.
So of course after the championship game on Paramount Colosso, they went ahead and talked about they're going to show League One and League Two. And I was initially going to just watch a little bit of it and then kind of walk away and just kind of do my own stuff and just have it on the background TV. They went to Chesterfield at Swindon Town.
Ooh.
Do you want to guess the name of the player that drew me into this because he was playing for Swindon Town?
I was about to say, if there was a player that you would recognize, it'd probably be Swindon Town. What player?
He played at Blackburn.
How long ago did he play at Blackburn?
Yes. 2019. 2019.
I like that. Yes.
I know. Like, how long ago did he play there? Yes.
2009 through 2012.
2009 through 2012. Not Morten Gantz Pedersen.
It is not Morten Gantz Pedersen.
David Bentley?
Nope. That would be one Junior Hoylett.
Oh.
So, Canadian
wow.
Junior Hoylett.
I didn't know he was still playing. I didn't know he was still playing.
I did not know either, but I saw him and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this and just see what other games are going to drop out here. So, with League One, the battles in question, of course, was for the spot again because Stockport, Bradford, and Bolton pretty much had it shored up. They just need to get their results in and be fine. But there was a three-team battle for 6 with Stevenage, who has never been in the championship, Luton Town, and Plymouth Argyle. And, you have to feel for teams that do everything right, and then all it takes is one goal in the in stoppage time to completely mess up everything, because at one point Luton Town, actually no, Plymouth Argyle had the spot being 3-2 up against Northampton Town, and looks like they were going to be it. Luton Town gets their goal against Bolton, being up 3-2, so it looks like they're going to be it. And then Stevenage. Stevenage is a Stevenage was playing Wigan, and Stevenage is a very defensive team. Apparently, they are the best defensive team in League One. So being late goal at this point, or getting a goal from them at this late kind of point, it's not. I'm not going to say it's a miracle this happened, but it had to take a lot for this. Yeah. And in the 90th minute, in a second, Dan Sweeney gets the goal that sends Stevenage into a frenzy and moves on to the playoff for that 6th spot. So if you want a team to cheer for in the League One, I would do Stevenage, because they have not been to the championship before.
And I'm sorry, I don't want Stockport County to make it. I'm sorry.
What's your beef with Stockport?
I don't really have a beef with Stockport. I think that, I think that Stockport, I've just seen them have a lot of success recently, and I'd just like to see them humbled a little bit.
No, I get that.
Now, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the club. I mean, kudos to them for the success that they've enjoyed. They've had a really good manager, actually, the last several years, but I think he's still there. Trying to see if the guy that was there before is still there.
Which manager was this?
I'm trying to remember his name. Give me a second. I'll find it.
Well, while you do that, I will talk about the it's not Alex Rebel, is it?
No, I don't think so.
That's who it is now.
No. Who, for Stockport?
No, I'm sorry, I was talking about for Stevenage.
No, it's Dave Challinor.
Dave Challinor. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been with Stockport since 2021. And since he came in, I mean, they've been outstanding. Came from Hartlepool, of all places.
Hartlepool, Jeff Sterling's favorite.
Yeah. What's this Dehentious sports thing?
I don't know. Probably it's
Dehees. Is that how you say that?
Big True Poppy,
is that you? Big True Poppy, is that your burner? Listen, you can actually celebrate that your team won. I understand my team is terrible right now. Okay, so Big True Poppy, get off. You can come on your regular account. You don't have to bring a burner on here. Okay. I think I just ended Virgil.
No, Patrick, I'm watching wrestling.
Ooh, what happened?
So Obafemi is doing his open challenge.
Yep.
Do you want to guess who came out?
Horrible thing for him, but okay.
Do you want to guess who is coming out to face him?
Danhausen.
No. It's my boy Akira Tozawa.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, we're watching right now. It's
listen,
gosh, I'm sorry.
How is Akira Tozawa? Listen, that man's resilient. How did he survive the latest cut, like WWE releases?
Because he's entertaining and people love him, like me.
Well, I love him too. Like, so is he in like R-Truth territory?
I would say so. Now Otis is coming in. No, this is the big beef match. This is how you get people.
Well, this is where Donnie gets engaged, because he loves Otis, because he likes those big meat guys.
Oh yeah, if you want to see a battle of beef, this is happening right now. But going back to
big meat, Donnie.
Big meat. So going back to League One, of course, of relegation, Exeter City, it's between Exeter City and Leyton Orient.
Big True Poppy, it's okay. You can join us, Big True Poppy. It's all good.
Leyton Orient finds a way to beat Exeter, beat the drop. So Leyton Orient survives to League One, but Exeter goes down to League Two. Speaking of League Two, also since they had League One and League Two going at the same time, Grimsby got the last spot in the playoffs there. So the 4 playoffs there are Salford City, which had Salford City really bungled a big opportunity to be promoted because they were playing at where were they at? They were at somebody that they should have beaten.
Come on, Salford.
Salford.
And they were Crawley Town.
Yeah, Crawley Town. Crawley Town, who was at one above the drop. They were to get a 0-0 draw. So Salford really blew an opportunity there to overtake Cambridge for that third automatic qualifying. So they are stuck in a promotion playoff. It's Salford City against Grimsby Town, which I think is going to be kind of interesting. And then Notts County against Chesterfield. I personally want to see Notts County because I like Notts County.
Well, they're the oldest club, right?
Exactly.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Virgil. Was Crawley Town once in the championship? Were they only as high as League One? I can't remember.
The only time I truly remember Crawley Town was when they played Manchester United in the FA Cup.
Well, because I remember
they've been League One before. I do not think they've ever been Championship.
Okay, so I remember when they were conference. So yeah. So, and because they made that FA Cup run.
Yeah, I remember their FA Cup run, and I think that's the first I've heard of it.
Okay.
And also, we do have to talk about the bottom real quick because Newport. Is it Newport? Yeah, Newport County was playing Barrow, and they were the bottom 2 at the time. And at one point, it looked like both teams were going to get relegated at the same time, which I can imagine the scenes being that with having both teams there and both relegated down to conference. But Newport County finds a way to win and survives relegation. So that means Barrow and Harrogate Town go down. So that's it for League 2. So we're not going to go in the conference because I didn't research that. And we talked about York City and I forgot the other team yesterday that we talked about last week. But also, Patrick, we have to give a shout out to Bromley because not only did Bromley win the league at League 2, it was at the expense of everybody's most hated team, MK Dons. So,
you mean that? You mean the original Wimbledon?
The original Wimbledon, yes.
Yeah. I listen. Milton Keynes is good for having a bus route. That's about it.
Oh, brutal! I didn't think they're good for that. So, jumping into some other leagues real quick. Yes, I'll go ahead and say this: Kaiserslautern did lose to Dynamo Dresden. Like I said, they're not playing for anything anymore.
I'm gonna inject Mourinho here. There's a campaign against Kaiserslautern.
It's a campaign against Kaiserslautern.
There's a campaign against them. Do you remember Jose Mourinho's famous campaign thing?
Yes.
There's the campaign. Well, there's a campaign against Kaiserslautern.
I'm glad you agree. I've always felt this in the bones of my heart.
You know, when you got the Schalke and the Paderborns of the world, you know, trying to stack the decks, you know.
Well, speaking of Paderborn, they actually lost to Elversborg. And yeah, so they actually dropped to 4th.
Oh. So. Oh man.
Yeah, so Elversberg. So Elversberg right now holds the 2nd promotion spot, and Hanover has the 3rd spot on goal differential.
Oh wow. Hanover 96.
Yeah.
Oof.
So I mean. Oh, my God, glad that you're in my time zone, a real good time zone to be in. Donnie, I know they were playing a weak side, but Heidenheim is at the dead bottom of the table at 23 points.
Wait, is that Chelsea's friends from the Conference League, Heidenheim?
Yes, that Heidenheim. So can you explain to me how not only was it a 3-3 draw, but Heidenheim had a 2-0 advantage to begin with, and only it took a goal from Elise and stoppage time at the 90th plus 10th minute. We know who's doing home cooking there. Can you explain to me what happened there?
Dabo.
Just didn't get it done. That's all. Just didn't get it done. I actually don't know on that one because I did not get to see that game this weekend.
See, I didn't either. I was too focused on Bayer Leverkusen because they're jumping and they're now in the Champions League spot over Stuttgart. So that's been kind of interesting what's going on there.
Yeah, we went to brunch on Saturday early because we were going to start drinking at the distillery by 12 o'clock when they opened. So I absolutely did not follow any of this game on Saturday.
Which is funny because I feel like Bundesliga brunch hour should be something we should start.
Well, I mean, normally I would agree with that, and if I was here at home, I would definitely be all over that. But down there, it was just not happening.
Sorry, on vacation he had to have a brunch, and then they had like an exclusive at the distillery. That's
it wasn't exclusive. We just
first. Sure it wasn't.
You can't drink all day if you don't start early.
He's got a point there.
I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
You don't have to wait till 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, the whole the centerpiece of our whole weekend with our friends was to go to the distillery on Saturday. So everything kind of led up to that and then led away from that at the end. So,
yeah.
So before we switch on to other topics, Patrick, would you like a Scotland update?
I would love a Scotland update, Mr. Producer.
So, of course, as people know, I have been exclusively following Hearts to see if Hearts of Midlothian can win the Scottish Premier League. And at one point, they had about a 10-point lead. It is now down to 3. They were able to beat Rangers 2-1. So they still have the 3-point advantage right now on Celtic. They got 3 games left. They are at Motherwell. They got Falkirk at home. And then the big one at Celtic. So,
does Martin O'Neill still have some magic left in those tires with a lot of tread?
No, I don't know. They've got a 5-point goal differential to make up. So
Celtic does?
Celtic does.
Yeah. Well, and is that put it this way, is that at Celtic Park the last game?
The last game is at Celtic Park.
So if you're Hearts, do you play for the draw?
If you're Hearts, you gotta have to play for the draw. I think you have to play for the point.
Well, again, that's a tall order. You have to beat Falkirk and Motherwell first, but still. But it's not a foregone conclusion that Celtic doesn't drop points before then.
Well, Celtic still has they've got the Old Firm.
Ooh, ooh. And you know how those games go. I mean, form goes out the window.
And also,
the best thing that could happen with Hearts on that is a draw.
Yeah, and don't forget, if Rangers beat Celtic, Rangers is sitting back on 69 points. They could still be a threat, and Rangers actually has a higher goal differential than Hearts.
Well, then I just say let them draw.
Yeah,
and, I don't have the heart to let either of them win.
Yeah, if you're Hearts, you're better than that. If you're Hearts, you want to draw out of that game between Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah. Michael, I don't know. I think this is probably about how Donnie's rich about something, but how can it be exclusive? Yeah, he probably did buy the distillery before he got there. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I should have had enough foresight to think about that. My bad.
Well, that is it for soccer talk. I know in La Liga, Sevilla is battling relegation. I'm something I'm going to keep an eye on for next week because I did not see that.
What happened?
Sevilla is battling relegation in La Liga.
Who is
they're only a point above Alaves.
I've never heard of that team.
I refuse to call it the other name.
Virgil is
you're talking about Virgil. Okay.
Virgil, yeah.
Virgil, okay.
Yeah.
They might become Sevilla again if they get relegated, because you can't have the name of the GOAT and get relegated. That's just not possible.
I will only accept Kaiserslautern as my second league team. I will not accept another second league team. So they did get a win today, though. So they are kind of
Who, Kaiserslautern?
No, Sevilla.
Ooh.
They beat Real Sociedad 1-0.
I was going to say they probably beat Real Betis or something like that.
No, Real Sociedad. So, Donnie, you want to talk about some hockey for a minute?
Sure.
Let's go over the results for what's going on right now, because I saw a score that I was like, wow, okay, I already know who's going to be the favorite now.
Well, Carolina just about 12 minutes at the 12-minute mark tied this game up with Philadelphia. It's about to go overtime, and it is overtime into regulation 2-2 right now.
What are they going into?
Overtime.
I love the Southern twang. Go ahead.
Overtime.
I know that South Carolina draw.
Well, they put it to Philadelphia the other night, 3-0. So
yeah, they did.
Had to throw the soccer term in there while we're talking.
I love it.
And once you start talking soccer, like the terminology just kind of gets to you.
Yeah.
How long until Donnie's saying they're in a rich vein of form?
I give it about a week.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Last night, Avalanche took out the Wild 9-6. That is a wild hockey score.
I was just about to say.
Brutal.
You were going to say it. I was going to.
I was like, I wish I'd have watched some of that game. I should have watched that game. I wasn't going to stay up that late. These West Coast games, man, I can't do that. Canadians ended up knocking out the Lightning. As Ed pointed out this morning, both Florida teams are out of the playoffs now. So I'm sure Chris Storm is not happy because the Lightning is eliminated, which takes away one of our possibility of storm on storm brutality in the finals of the Stanley Cup. So let's see what we got coming up here. The Ducks, your Ducks, Patrick, are getting ready to take on. That Vegas is lit up right now. The Vegas Golden Knights are hosting the Ducks right now for game 1 of second round series.
Don't worry, we're about to take out some of those lights because we fly together. He almost threw up from that bad joke, is what he's trying to suggest.
I think that distiller is getting to him.
Man, that was some dry humor there. Got me choked up a little bit.
Man, everyone's a critic.
Avalanche and Wild game 2 is tomorrow, and then Canadians start their second round series against the Buffalo Sabres. So Buffalo making a little bit of a run in their first playoff in forever. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a huge Hurricanes fan, but they're kind of the team I pull for secondary to the Panthers because they were the former parent club of the Checkers.
You don't have to suck up your head. You can be a Ducks fan too. I'd allow it.
Well, I like the Ducks too. You know what? I should have planned better. Instead of wearing my just generic NHL hat, my Gary Bettman, I should have gone and got my old school Ducks hat.
Well, I thought you were just sucking up to Ed to show, hey, look, I'm going to root for your team if my team's not in it.
No, I mean I do have a Carolina Hurricanes hat over here somewhere, but
of course you do.
Of course.
You've got a hat of every team.
But that's kind of where we're at right now with the hockey playoffs. So things are looking pretty good for a lot of these teams. I've really gotten into hockey so much more the last few years.
Yeah. Virgil, who's your hockey team again?
Nashville Predators.
That's right.
Which I used to really enjoy going to before the tickets got really outlandish. So it's like I haven't really been to a game in a while because I feel like I probably can't afford it, but it's like, it's like make the drive up there. Like Nashville's kind of more crowded now. It's just not the same experience.
Yeah.
Do they call that arena the Creeper Van? Because I think that would be bad taste if they did.
So back to what we were talking about beforehand.
I mean, come on.
But no, like I've been like their Stanley Cup run is something I will never forget because I actually got to go to a Stanley Cup game. It was actually the game.
That's awesome.
It was the game with the Penguins won, so a little bittersweet on that, but still, at least I can say I've been to a Stanley Cup final.
Well, I've never been to a Stanley Cup final, and if the Ducks are ever so lucky to get back to one, I'm calling Donnie because no doubt Donnie knows a guy.
Well, I'd love to go to one too, and I've had plenty of opportunity, not money wise, but the Panthers have played. No, I mean saying the Panthers played in it the last 2 years, so there was opportunity for me to have gone to see my team play, but it just is not something I could.
You didn't pounce on the opportunity?
No, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous thinking about what you had to pay to get into those games.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
For the NBA playoffs, I just want to say how relieved I am that the Orlando Magic did not beat the Pistons. Because
did you have money? Did you have money on it?
No, I don't bet on sports. But I really want to see Thunder Pistons in the final.
Do you really?
Yes. I'm a big Cade Cunningham believer. So yeah.
Is he gonna turn it around after I still feel like he's recovering from that illness.
See, that's the problem. I still think he's kind of not 100%, but I can still I would like to think by that time he turn it around. But also I'm nervous about the Spurs if they play the Thunder. The Spurs have had the Thunder's number in regular season, so that's not a given.
I think the Spurs will beat the Thunder in a series. I think a lot of it depends on whether Wemby can stay healthy, but I also think that the Spurs have better role players than the Thunder.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I looked foolish in some of my picks in the first round. I thought that the Pistons were going to dispose of the Magic pretty easily. And I thought the Celtics were going to have one of the easiest runs, and I massively underrated the Sixers.
If anyone said they had the Sixers over the Celtics and they are not from Philadelphia, they're lying to you.
Right.
Well, I'll put it this way. I almost called a sweep. So,
I don't know what happened to the Celtics.
Well, I know what happened with the Sixers is that they had Joel Embiid, even though he's not 100%, and just the Celtics had no answer for Joel Embiid.
Is he ever 100%?
No, he's never been.
The one season he's been 100%, he won MVP.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been knee issue after knee issue after, some other, combined with some other ailment. But the thing is, he's so gifted, he doesn't even have to be 100% to be effective. It's just that he's on another level of his play when he actually is healthy.
Well, the Knicks are saying not today, my friend. So they're up 93-64 right now on the Sixers.
Oh yeah, that's
well.
At least.
Well, for the Knicks, am I right? Would you guys agree that it's like NBA Finals or bust for them this season? I mean,
it's got to be.
I mean, that window is closing, and I was worried for them in that Atlanta Hawks series. I mean, I know it's the Atlanta Hawks. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand who I'm talking about here, but that team is built to win now. I mean, they've mortgaged some of their future to try to win in this window. I mean, they're trying to get all out of Jalen Brunson that they can.
Yeah.
But Jalen can't do it himself.
Yeah.
So it's good to see other guys stepping up for them if you're a Knicks fan. I know Ed is because he loves the Dolan family, but
some of his favorite people, yeah.
Yeah, well, he kind of, I think he forgoes his Cavaliers fandom because he just loves Mr. Dolan so much that he, just goes with whatever team he owns. And that's fine, Ed can do what he wants. He's allowed to root for who he wants. So.
Well, I think that Pistons Cavaliers series is going to be a solid series right there.
For sure.
Yeah, that one will probably go the distance.
I'm not sure what to think of the Cavs. Honestly, I haven't really watched much of them, so
that's been an awful series, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, against the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's fine with them playing each other, but the quality is more what I'm talking about, or lack thereof.
True.
I
mean, it is
although,
surprising that both they and Detroit went 7 games in their
Yeah.
series, and they shouldn't have. But
I will say, though, credit to the Raptors, because they've had some guys make some big shots to get them to the point that they are. So, I say that overall, but
right. Oh, speaking of basketball, I know we only got 5 minutes left, and I want to stay on this topic, but I want to take the college. If you guys have talked about this and I was not aware of it, I apologize. But did you guys ever talk about the tournament expanding?
Briefly, I think Ed. I think Ed brought it up on one day last week. When did that come out? He might have said something about it Thursday.
It came out last week, so
yeah, he might have mentioned it Thursday night.
Okay, so I was at the game at the time, so
yeah.
Just initial thoughts on that. See, I'm kind of of 2 minds with this, because usually I know people complain about expanding and so on, but then I kind of go back and I'm wondering, people say this like with the 68 teams when they've expanded, and it's like, that hasn't been that bad. Now, of course, the problem for me with it is, the new slots are going to be filled with mediocre high major teams instead of like your Belmonts or like a team that does well mid-major wise that just doesn't make it.
Yeah, this is to appease your Big Ten, SEC guys who their 9th, 10th, 11th team are whining that they got beat out by some smaller school. I hate it. I understand the 68 teams wasn't that big a deal over 64. I just there's no exclusivity to it, and it's all about money. And I'm just going to be the get off my lawn old guy. I wish it stayed at 64. It was like tough shit, play better, like Eric says.
Yeah, that did sound like Eric.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm gonna go after a coach, and believe it or not, Donnie, I'm not talking about Dabo.
What?
I know, right? I mean, he might have paid something to make this happen. I don't know, but no. When you're expanding like this, you're appeasing like Bruce Pearl's son, who didn't make it, and rightfully didn't make it with Auburn this past year. I mean, like you said, Dottie, I completely agree with you. Like, just play better. Like have a better resume for when you should get in, because some of these teams complaining, it's easy to look at their resume and say there were a lot of games here you should have won.
Yeah.
And you got the requisite resources to go out and get some of the best players. So don't tell me about, don't try to act like a pauper when you've got all these NIL deals and everything else that can get you some of the top players in the country. I don't want to hear it.
And the NIL money with basketball teams, more so than football, because there's a lot less people, can make a bigger impact right away. And that's the reason for this too, is because now these mid-major and smaller schools, they're putting some money into it, and these guys are like, I'll go play there if they give me the money, because right now it used to be you had to play for the big teams to get the exposure, and that's not the case anymore. They'll find you, and that's why you had so many smaller schools making the tournament the last year or so, and they're like, well, we got to have 14 of our 16 conference teams make the tournament. Like, really? I mean, it's just participation world now.
Well, you got to let everybody in, right?
Right.
So,
well, I mean, even some of the pro levels like that too, because they were talking about that on Dan Patrick last week or so with some of these pro leagues, NBA, NHL. It's like half the league makes the playoffs, and
these play-in games,
all this kind of crap. It's like, just come on, play better. If you're not one of the top, 12 teams, then suck it. Play better next year.
And do it like they did back in 1100 BC, right? Right, Donnie?
That's right. You remember when there used to be 4 teams in Major League Baseball that made the playoffs? I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, not the 90s Yankees, but a lot of times the Yankees were one of those 4 teams.
I think on that note, we will call it a day for break even. We will talk about that. So join us tomorrow for DHCs. We talk about some other sports, and we're going to see if I can sneak in the NCAA lacrosse championship bracket coming out. We'll see. Probably not. I think someone was about talking about that.
By the way, can I give a shout out to? Let me see if I can find it. Make sure I got this right.
Okay, time's up.
Nope. Nope. What did they just win?
It must be important.
It is. It's very. Didn't Oklahoma State just win yet another national championship?
I think you mean the Big 12 golf championship.
Go Pokes.
Yeah, that's not a national championship though. But
no, but I mean, there was some kind of championship that I saw.
You worked hard to tee that one up for yourself there.
I did. That's okay. I haven't gotten to say a Go Pokes in a while, so it's been a long time since I've gotten to do that. So I just wanted to make sure.
No, I appreciate that. Apparently, Steve Lutz has a top 10 transfer portal class coming in, so I'm kind of looking forward to see how he does on that one. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So we'll have the full gang with us. We're going to talk about some experiences from people who had certain trips over the weekend, just certain places. I do want to hear about the Honkers versus Mallards game, which I'm sure will lead to a rant about merchandising. So stay for that and just have a good time listening for that. But thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.